the Jets and fall to 0-3?
It's over. It's done. Renee, I said it in the last block. There's only been one team in the last 20 years to make the playoffs. One. You fall 0-3, you're basically going fishing after the season's over.
The one thing they may have going for them is the division is off to a slow start, but I hear you. Next, Nico, what if Baker Mayfield loses and he goes to 0-3?
They'll be right where I thought they were going to be, 0-3 before the season started. Everyone's, Baker's going to take this team to the playoffs. What? I was there in training camp watching them play the Patriots. No, they're not going to the playoffs, and I wouldn't be surprised if they're 0-3.
Oh, could cost.
Bart Scott, let's go the other side. Let's be positive for a minute. What happens if the Giants beat the Cowboys and get to 3-0?
They will march up Fifth Avenue. You know, we can't handle success around here. We're going to have a grand party. Danny Dimes, Dayball, Wink Martindale. Listen, they're going to be, they might be immortalized. They might put a statue up for them if the Giants go 0-3. They go 3-0.
I'll say this. I hope they march down Fifth Avenue because the traffic goes south on that, and it would be confusing if they're going the other way. In the meantime, the Cowboys may have some good news, and it's sneaky big news. Wide receiver Michael Gallup is gearing up to make his season debut this Monday in that game against the Giants. Gallup is coming back from a torn ACL. He will take full reps this week in practice, so he may come back. Now, Dianna, we began the show with your bold prediction that the Giants are going to win. The conversations are going to have to change. Every year there are teams that come along and are just way better than we expected them to be. If the Giants win Monday night, it's going to be impossible not to say that of them. Give us your thoughts on this game as they prepare to host Dallas on Monday night.
Well, obviously, lately I've been getting very little sleep with all these bold predictions that the New York teams are going to be winning all of September. But look, the thing is, there's some reality to this, right? Because I've already seen a change in this Giants team from top to bottom with Joe Schoen at GM, Brian Daboll. I can't say enough about the impact that they've had on these players. I talked to Leonard Williams last week. Just give me a quick reason why Daboll's making you guys better. He said he holds us accountable, but this is the loosest I've ever played in my career. I'm not afraid to make mistakes. He's like, you don't understand how that helps us play better as a team when we're not scared to make the mistake, because then we're just leaning on our ability, our knowledge, our preparation. So collectively, this team is finding ways to win. And when I spoke to Coach Daboll about it, he says it's all about the preparation that they're doing during the week in the meeting rooms at practice. It wasn't a pat on the back like, look, I'm leading this team the right way. He just says their practices have been premier all of September, and he says he's seeing the results on Sunday.
All right, so the Giants off to a surprisingly good start. Now, the one thing that I sometimes hear from people is we don't talk enough about the Cowboys on this show. So let's dive a little bit into their side of this for a moment here. And I'm not the kind of person who likes to say I told you so. I'm the kind of person who loves to say I told you so. So, D. Wood, when the world was burying the Cowboys last week and you were giving them a big thumbs down, I was saying to everybody, slow down. They're not nearly as bad as we are painting them to be. They just need to tread water. How do you feel about the Dallas Cowboys now after a win that surprised a lot of people against Cincinnati?
First of all, I'm eating crow right now. I mean, I was the one, parading saying that the Dallas Cowboys are done, and clearly that's not the case. I think when you look at the Dallas Cowboys, the fact that I think they're playing complementary football. Like, that's what when I watch them, that's what they're doing. Defensively, they're getting after people. Mm-hmm. Michael Parsons, I've said many times, Michael Parsons to me is like the closest thing to LT that we're seeing today in today's game. Mm-hmm. He's that type of force on the defensive side of the football. And I think Cooper Rush and company is doing enough. They don't have to be, they don't have to be jerking out. They're just doing enough. Enough complementary football can win you football games. And I think against the New York Giants, I think the Dallas Cowboys can pull it out again.
Bart looks skeptical. Now, maybe that's just your natural expression, but you look skeptical to me about my Dallas Cowboys.
I mean, because we have to consider the opponent. I mean, they just went against a team that we think is reeling, that think that they can go 0-3 as well.
We think they're reeling because the Cowboys beat them. The Bengals should have beaten the Steelers week 1 easily, and they were in the Super Bowl, their game before that. So let's not talk about them like they just beat nobody, and they did it without their starting quarterback.
They faced a team last week that's trying to find their identity, right? Like I say all the time, success isn't owned as leased, and rents due every single day. And right now the Bengals are paying their rent. But, we talking about in a couple of weeks, they got to play the Philadelphia Eagles, and they have to play the defending Super Bowl champions. If they're able to be above 500 after then maybe I'll buy a little stock in the Dallas Cowboys. But I'm not ready to buy stock in them right now. I mean, if they come back and they lose on Monday night in a hostile environment in MetLife Stadium, I think we go right back to the narrative that, hey, maybe next year is the year. And you look at that schedule, that Lions game isn't going to be an easy win anymore. So you can take that 65% and erase that one. But you look at the Rams and the Eagles, and if they lose to the Giants, then that's a recipe for, okay, let's get ready for the draft.
Well, look, the bottom line of it, the other side of that, Ninko, is if they win two of those games before they get Dak back, and between the Giants, the Lions, the Bears, and the Commanders, you can find 2 wins on that schedule. They could be right there when these teams come back. So I asked everyone for their picks. I haven't seen them yet. Let's see what everybody thinks about Monday night. Go ahead, Chrissy, put them up there. Ooh, we got a lot. Only D. Wood is with me on the Cowboys pick this week. Ninko, give me a thought.
You look at New York right now, they're playing with a lot of confidence, and how do you slow down a pass rush? You run the football. And I think New York has that ability to run the football. They have a big-time running back, strong, physical, playing with a chip on his shoulder, confident, a head coach that has that whole team playing at a high level, playing fast. So I'm going with New York, even though a whole region where I live is not happy with that pick.
Well, I will say this. I mean, in New York right now, they're excited about the Giants and they're excited about the Jets, but all that is getting buried under what? Aaron Judge. Did you see it last night?
Rise.
Here we go. All rise for Judge and the Yankees. Chasing history, taking on the lowly Pirates. Judge, as you know, started the day with 60 home runs. He leads off the game for the Yankees with Roger Maris's family in attendance. First pitch he sees in the first inning, and he ropes it up the left field line for a double. Not a home run, but the batting average continues to rise. Remember, he's chasing the Triple Crown. He would double twice on the night. Later in the inning, still no score. Bases juiced with 2 outs for Oswaldo Cabrera, who brings the juicer. That one is way gone. The Yankees lead it 4-0. By the way, they're the first team ever to hit a grand slam in the first inning after ending their previous game with a grand slam. Now we go bottom 8. Yanks up 6-2. Torres at the plate. That's Gleyber Torres. He hits a solo home run to right, his 22nd of the season. Yanks leading 7-2. In a minute, you'll see why that was important. Later in the inning, Yankees are now up 11-2. Judge. Again, another chance. The fans are there. They walked him on 4 pitches, 3 change-ups and a curveball. That was a disgrace, candidly, but for a team that was losing by 9 runs. And all the fans are going home. Among the many things they deserve is for Torres to then hit another home run in the inning, and he did. A 3-run shot, his second of the inning. He's the first Yankee since A-Rod in 2009 with 2 home runs in an inning. Yankees win it by a score of 14-2. The Pirates, a team that's 40 games under 500, walked Aaron Judge last night in the 8th inning. So we have to wait another day for Judge to catch Roger Maris. But again, the Triple Crown, a very real possibility. Currently even money at Caesars Sportsbook. The Baton title is the closest category. He leads Xander Bogaerts by 4/10,000ths of a point. In other news, Celtics coach Ime Udoka is facing a significant suspension for his role in a consensual, intimate relationship with a woman who is a member of the franchise's staff. Sources tell our Adrian Wojnarowski that the relationship was considered a violation of the organization's guidelines. The length of the suspension could be announced today. It could last the entire season. Sources tell ESPN it is not believed that Udoka's job